Good morning, Jack.
What's going on?
It's a good day today. I'm very excited. Today, Therapy Thursday, all day.
Me too. What do you want to do? Go get pizza? We could go see a movie because Dr. Stan's pretty much going to do all the work.
Yeah, here's what's happened, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie White is on maternity leave. God bless her. We love her.
Hey,
but
it's a 2-week birthday today.
It is 2 weeks old today,
Yep.
baby Caden. And Jamie runs this show. It really is. Jack and I, we're what they call sidekicks in radio. We really follow Jamie, make funny comments. It's easier to do. Well, at this point now, we have to run the show, which is something we don't normally do.
Surprise!
Yeah, and there's a lot of work involved in that. And so we're trying to do that every day the best we can. And when you have a guest host, okay, they help you, but at the same time, you have to get a rhythm with this person. You've never met them. Today,
it takes a long time to get used to doing a show with somebody. So to do this every day with somebody new has been an adventure for us.
Yes.
And some days goes better than others because it depends on who the person is and how well they know how to do it. But we know Dr. Stan, and we know you. The more messed up you are, the better it is for Stench and I.
Yep.
Call up because that means it'll just take them longer.
All crazy people, all jacked up people, 1-800-STAR-987. Dr. Stan's going to be here. Jack and I will be in the break room.
If you're drunk right now, we love those. You know, really, Stan will talk you down and get you into rehab or whatever. It'll be great.
It's going to be a good day. Really, this is what we've got to do. Oh, well,
what's funny?
We had guests, though.
I was flipping through, and yesterday I was laying on the couch, I was flipping through in the middle of the day, and there was Dr. Stan on Starting Over, Emmy Award-winning Starting Over, and I watched him, and that Dr. Stan is full of solid advice.
No, Dr. Stan, he's no Dr. Phil. He's not some dumb jackass. Dr. Stan is a for-real guy, and he really does. His advice always is really good. Rarely does Dr. Stan say something that one of us in this room look at him like, what are you, crazy?
And
no.
He almost never does it with a southern accent, which is great.
Or a rhyme.
Right.
He's almost like Dr. Phil's like a fat white Johnny Cochran.
He's the Dr. Seuss of therapy.
He
Dr.
really
Phil.
is. Now, we've got a couple guests today. We still will talk to Luke Perry from the NBC show Windfall. He will call in with us later on today. Also, Cheech Marin from the largest movie in the world, Cars.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah, Cheech Marin's in it. George Carlin's in it. I mean, everyone's in that movie.
And Cheech is one of those guys who works all the time and has been in a lot of huge stuff, and you don't think about it. You think, oh, Cheech, but he's been in a million movies, and he was in the Don Johnson series for a long time.
Up in Smoke?
No, that's one of my favorites.
See, that's the one you can't bring up, because
Right.
he just that Cheech and Chong thing he's not going for anymore.
That's right.
He's totally not going for it. He wants to talk about cars. Oh, and he made that one movie with, oh my God, it's not Desperado, with Salma Hayek, the one where they showed her boobies?
I guess I missed that one.
And Antonio Banderas, and he was the bartender.
Oh, right.
He ended up getting killed. Antonio killed him, but that was a good movie for him. I like Cheech.
I like Cheech, too.
I like Salma, too.
I know you do.
Hey, when we come back, I'm going to just play another example of just what a loser I am, what my life is. Something that happened to me last night. I was working at home, and I have audio, so I'll just play it for you when we come back.
Jamie, Jack, and Stench.
R98.7.
All right, happy Thursday, everybody. Minutes away from kicking off Therapy Thursday. I did have that audio clip of my life we were going to play in a minute, but Jack threw it out there, kind of kick off Therapy Thursday early. If you're just, you got issues, you are out there in the world, and you need someone to talk to, give us a call. And look, on the phone right now, we've got Christina. Christina, welcome to the show.
What up?
What's happening?
Good morning, my friend.
Good
How
morning.
are you?
I'm great, man.
What's going on in your life, Christina?
Why are you doing this?
It's 5:50 in the morning.
Good morning. And I wanted to share a little bit with you, Alex.
No, this is not Alex.
This isn't
is
Alex
Jack
anymore.
instead.
Alex is,
oh, my God.
Yeah.
You're on the air.
I was asking about Jamie's baby because I've been sleeping in the mornings.
what do you do that you're up all night and you sleep during the mornings and the day?
I'm a stripper.
Nice.
How you guys doing today?
Are you a little drunk right now? Maybe.
No, man, I didn't do anything.
Really? You're just up and partying and
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You just
Yeah, but
giggle
I'm
for
happy,
no reason.
I'm not a violent drunk.
Oh, good.
Hey, I have a question, and I mean this really sincerely. I want to know, where's a strip club?
Go ahead. I was expecting something like this.
Where's a strip club that's open, after 2:00 in the morning that you're just now getting done at 5:50 a.m.?
Well, no, I was done at 3 something. I think. I don't know.
I think.
And,
What did you do for the
well, it's
next
all
3
music,
hours?
It's They don't serve alcohol. So obviously
you're
I
a
had to,
full-on, fully
double
nude
my
stripper.
dose at 3:05.
Yeah, you're one of the fun strippers.
Where are you guys at?
We're in Burbank, but that has nothing to do
Yeah,
with it.
our question, though, is if they don't serve alcohol at your club, you got off at 3, it's almost 6 o'clock in the morning. What's been happening for the last 3 hours?
Well, if I tell you, I have to kill you.
Oh, man.
All right, let's just put it. Are you high?
No, I'm just drinking.
Oh,
Okay,
you are
okay,
drinking.
Where's Alex?
Where's Alex?
What are you drinking, Christina?
Hennessy.
Oh, Hennessy.
Hennessy Coke.
That's very
That's a
classy.
good one. You know what? That's an every good Snoop Dogg record.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you play some Snoop Dogg or something?
Okay.
All right,
You know what? This isn't as much fun as I
You
thought
know
it
what?
would be, so let's play your clip.
We're going to put you back on with Street Meet Alex, and then we're going to kick a little Snoop Dogg for you later on.
Cool, thank you
All right,
so much.
thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Strippers need love, too. Okay. All right. Now let's go into real quick. Here's what happened. At night, I have a studio at my house, and I work from home sometimes and record things I need to do, and I'm on a CD burner. Last night, I'm in the middle of my thing, and I'm da-da-da-da-da-da, and I have the microphone, I have headphones on, and then the door flings open, and my daughter's babbling in the background. So I hit pause on the CD to see what she wanted, and she starts rambling on about the rabbit peed on her floor.
Which is horrible if you had a rabbit, I guess.
Okay, so then I realized, okay, she's babbling, and I still have the microphone on, so then I hit play again on the CD, and you can hear the whole conversation of my life. What happened?
The baby went over there. He's going to change.
The baby went pee-pee in the floor?
Yeah.
She said that earlier.
What baby?
Yeah.
What baby? Was it you?
No.
Did you go pee-pee in the floor?
No.
Who did?
The rabbit.
We don't have a rabbit. What rabbit?
Over here, over my room.
The rabbit.
The rabbit in your room went pee-pee in the floor?
Come see, Daddy.
I want to
Did
come
you
see
go
the pee-pee in the
Oh,
floor.
yeah, Daddy went to see.
Okay. I'll be right back.
You know what's funny? Same conversation we had with the drunk stripper. Almost,
So,
3-year-old with the imaginary rabbit.
yeah, that peed in her floor.
So what happened when you went into the room? Did she point out a spot, or did she really just want to get
Okay.
you out to play?
By the way, and then later on we came back in the room, but then she wasn't anywhere near the microphone, and you can't hear what happened. What happened is I go in the room to look for the pee-pee. She pointed at a spot. I'm looking, and there was no pee-pee, but she did pull down an assailant. There was she's a giant rabbit.
Okay.
And she pulled that down from her rack and then made me put a diaper on the rabbit. So that rabbit wouldn't pee in her floor anymore.
That kind of rules.
But I'm just like, oh yeah, this is my life. I'm putting diapers on stuffed animals. I'm looking for pee on a floor that's not there, that was put there by a mystery rabbit.
Oh, at least there wasn't really any pee. My
Yeah,
kid,
who knows? She pointed me in the right direction because I looked around. It could have been in another room.
she wearing diapers, or because we've moved my kid to panties, in the potty training thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when she's at home, when we take her out, we still put a diaper on her.
Yeah.
But at home, we'll have her wear her
Oh,
little
yeah,
Dora
you're
thing.
completely natural now.
Yeah, and every once in a while we'll have daddy pee-pee, and like, oh no, and then she takes you to the spot where we couldn't quite
Dude,
make it.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah, and by the way, if she's really doing something, that offsets any going to the bathroom.
Right.
She was on her electric Barbie car the other day. All of a sudden, she's like, Daddy! And I go out there, and the whole little floorboard thing is filled with pee. Because, driving Barbie cars is way more important than actually going to the toilet.
You had to have Ken's detailing service come over.
I had to clean that car. That was such a pain in the ass. Well, look what we've become.
Yeah,
We used to be cool.
I can't remember those days.
We used to go do cool stuff.
I'm home alone. I've been home alone for 3 weeks now, and I have 3 more to go.
Yeah.
You know what I do? Watch TV. I've been packing, but I don't do anything cool or fun. I don't go out to bars. And I have total freedom. I have no kid, no wife. I sit at home with my dog. In fact, yesterday I was walking my dog,
Yeah.
and I'm walking my dog, and these guys in this car drive by, and they go, and out the windows they go by, they scream, "Hey, why don't you F that dog?" And then first I thought, that's weird. And then I thought, do I look like the kind of guy who'd F his dog?
I thought maybe they knew you.
Jamie, Jack, and Stench. Stench Show.
Star 98.7.
All right, everybody, it is Therapy Thursday time, and our friend Dr. Stan from NBC's Starting Over, weekdays at noon on NBC, is in the house. Welcome to the show, Dr. Stan.
Well, I'm in the house. I'm not sure how awake I am.
Yeah, this is the earliest you've ever been here.
You know, if I don't have to take a plane somewhere, I'm usually sleeping at this time, and there's no therapy being done at this hour, okay?
No one has any problems right now.
You know, people don't have problems till about 10.
I don't know.
Is that how it works?
It's good
no,
for me.
You come in usually around 8, and the phones are jam-packed of people.
Okay, but
when
in my
they get
office,
to
I
it.
like to work between 10 and 4. Those are good times for problems.
Those are nice doctor
Yeah,
hours.
exactly. Those are good doctor hours, you know. I've learned over the years. You know.
The number is 1-800-STAR-987. Anything going on, it is Therapy Thursday. Dr. Stan can help you out. And Jack and I were talking earlier that you really have really good advice. I mean, when you talk to someone on the show, rarely do we ever look and go like, okay, he's nuts.
You know, but it is, I have to tell you, Stench, it is difficult to give advice sometimes with that blonde, pregnant woman next to me making those crude, rude remarks. It's sort of a new kind of therapy. You know, it's sort of like, this is the true shock therapy.
Shock therapy?
I feel like the doctor and the patient. That's what I feel like.
It's not shock jock, you're shock therapy.
Yeah. So, I mean, trying to hold it together when some of these people call with this really tragic problems, it's been probably one of the greatest challenges of my life. This show. I've worked in hospitals, worked for the Army, all kinds of things. But this show has been the most challenging to me.
I can tell you right now that's so funny is there's times that we will have a serious call on, and Dr. Stan will be in here, and we'll be talking to someone, and then Jamie's throwing just bombs out of left field, and I can just see it in your face. Oh, my God, I have a real practice. Yeah. Knock it off.
There was someone who called, I think, last time I was on and said, you know, I had sexual relationships with my brother, and Jamie's comment was, did you like it? Okay. That was not what I was trained to say.
Jack and I are going to try to do better. And let's get right to it because there's people already on the phone. Dr. Stan comes, the phones light up. We have got, looks like Sarah on the phone. I don't know how they wrote it, but she's dating a guy with kids and needs advice on that. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Hi, Sarah.
I'm so happy to be in the show. I'm so happy.
What's your question?
You're too happy for this show,
that's
for sure.
It's early.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. Well, anyways, I'm dating this guy who's taking care of 2 kids that are not his.
Oh, they're not even his.
But he has been there ever since they were born, and we're going to get married soon, and I really have a problem about it.
How old are the children?
10 and 6.
They're not his biological children. They're like his stepchildren?
Yes.
So he was with their mother for a long time?
Mm-hmm.
And why does he have custody of them now?
Well, he doesn't have the custody, but he has them once in a while.
That's weird.
All right. So, well, it's not so weird because when parents have stepchildren, sometimes they become very close to them. They develop very strong bonds, and they develop a relationship that continues. Now, the question is, Sarah, why this bothers you? How does it take away from you if he sees them occasionally?
Well,
I know what she's going to say. I know why it bothers you. It bothers you because they're the ex's kids, and they're not his kids, and you see those kids, and you think of that ex who you don't like.
Very much.
Okay, so you're insecure is what's happening because you don't feel secure in this relationship. You feel somehow there's a tie to his ex-wife, right, or ex-girlfriend. Yes. Okay, but the real issue here is, does it really take away from you? In other words, if he sees him, once a month?
Every other weekend and every weekday.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Have these kids been around since you started dating this man?
Yes.
Okay, so you knew this about him, right?
Yes.
And my guess is that this is something that even attracted you to him, that you thought he'd be a good father someday to your kids.
Yeah, once he ditches those other kids.
Yes.
That's what they see it like, I'm telling you.
Jamie's in the room. Jamie's in the room.
Once he ditches these kids, he's going to be a great dad to my kids.
Okay, so, Sarah, did you one point kind of admire that quality about him?
Yes.
This commitment. See, this is what happens in relationships. We admire qualities about people that we initially we find ourselves attracted to, and then it doesn't seem to fit for us. We sort of repel it. So the question is, first of all, how secure do you feel with this guy?
I am every other week.
Every other week.
You're only secure with them on Mondays and Wednesdays, not on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Okay, so one of the problems I see here is you're not secure enough in this relationship. You know, a lot of women would say this guy's a really admirable guy because he's really followed through with some commitment to these kids. He enjoys a relationship with them. They probably need him. And so the question is, can you, who originally found him attractive for this reason, continue to have a relationship with him and still find a place in your heart to allow him to have this relationship and to build your own relationship with the kids. Can you do that?
Good job, Dr. Stan. Put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you do that, Sarah?
Maybe.
Okay. How old are you?
That's not real
How old
committal.
are you?
I'm 25.
25. Okay. You sound a little young to take on this kind of responsibility. So what I would think is you must rethink this relationship. That if this man is really committed to these kids, it's going to be a major problem because you see it as a problem. It's going to be a threat in your life, and maybe this is not the right guy for you.
Yeah, you should dump that nice guy. You could probably find some young loser who
you need some guy that ran away from his kids.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Okay.
can I tell you, Jack, you're right on, except, even with the sarcasm, it's true. He's a nice guy. He's committed. You may not be ready for this yet. You might appreciate this much later in life.
All right, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a break, but when we come back, we've got a compulsive eater that's gained 100 pounds. She's going to talk to Dr. Stan next.
Or did she call for you?
Hey, shrinks are expensive. Oh.
Star 98.7.
Welcome to the show. It's the Jamie, Jack, and Stench show. Jamie is out on maternity leave. Dr. Stan is here. He is our favorite therapist from the Emmy Award-winning show Starting Over, weekdays at noon on NBC. Thank you for being here, sir.
It's always a pleasure. A pleasure.
It is. And speaking of that, when we went away, I told you we were going to talk to Barb. Now, Barb has gained 100 pounds from compulsive eating. She's got a question for you, Dr. Stan. Welcome to the show, Barb.
Hi, thank you.
Hi, Barb.
Dr. Stan, I don't know what to do to stop this cycle I'm in. I feel like I'm ruining my life. I haven't had a boyfriend in literally about since 1985. And I feel like I'm 45. I feel like I'm becoming socially retarded and not living my life. And when am I going to start? I don't know how to stop.
Okay, you don't have to stop doing what?
Just eating, overeating. Like I followed Janine Ross' books, and I lost 60 pounds at one point, and just eating what I wanted when I was hungry, stopping when I was full. And then my horse I owned for like 20 years died, and it all just kind of unraveled again. And
Okay, I'm sorry, who died?
my horse I had for 20 years, I had to put him to sleep. And
Mr. Ed.
Okay. And so now how overweight are you?
I'm 253 pounds. It's kind of bad when you look and you watch football players that weigh I weigh more than the defensive end of some football team.
But Barb, here's the real issue. Your life has stopped. You're stuck, and people who are overweight still have lives. So how did your life get stopped just because you gained this weight?
I'm embarrassed. I've always been thin and athletic, and I moved out here to be an actress, and I had to make ends meet. I had to be a secretary, which I hate to the core of my soul. And I just feel like now I'm old and fat, and what I really love to do and what, when I'm in plays and stuff, the way people respond to me that I am good at, there's some talent there. I just feel like it's gone now.
You are hopeless at this point. This is the problem. You're hopeless. You don't see a way out, do you?
No.
Okay, so what you're doing now is you're having a pity party every day, and you're eating through that.
I do that.
Pain.
I'll stress eat. I'll get stressed out, and I'll eat even more.
Yeah. So Barb, that's because that's where you get your comfort from. That's where your solace is from. The problem is you need to make yourself over, and you need to do this now. You know you're really stuck. So you have to then develop intentions that you actually can go out there and meet. You have to have intentions of getting out there socially. You have to intentions of taking care of yourself physically, of changing your diet, taking care of your health. You have to start from the top all the way to the bottom. The question is, are you motivated enough to do that? I hear the pain, but are you motivated now to do it?
I hope so. Every time I think I am, then it's like it falls through in a couple days.
Well, if you watch Starting Over, you will see women who have similar problems, who get very stuck in their life, who have problems with social interaction, with weight control, addictions, and what they have to do is actually make a pledge to change their life. And changing your life is not easy. It's very difficult. But the one ingredient that you need is motivation. So the question is, how can you get motivated? What can we do to help motivate you?
I don't know. I guess that's what I need help with is how to. I started swimming because I used to run 9 miles a day in college, and I can't run now. My feet start to hurt, so I started swimming in the last 3 months.
You know what I noticed when you look back though on your rest on your laurels, so to speak? Like I used to play sports and do all kinds of stuff. I can't walk up a flight of stairs anymore.
I know.
So my athletic prowess is just gone, and I've got to do whatever I can do.
Stench, you're right. You have to forget what you've done in the past. It's about what you can do today. So here's the question, and that is, Barb, what can you do to change your life today? There's a whole lot of things you can do. First of all, you need to develop a support system. You do need to develop a social support system. You need to get yourself out there in the world. Being obese is not a reason for not being in the world. People who are overweight are still in the world. They're still interacting. They're still doing things. They're still gaining pleasure in their life. You have to get out there and participate again. You have to set your goals. Set your goals for your weight. Set your goals for your health, for your employment, for social interaction. But you have to get motivated and say that every moment is an opportunity. Every moment's an opportunity to change things. So if you start right today, on this date, on June 15th, I think it is today, on June 15th today, and start setting goals that are reasonable and realistic, that you're going to get out there, you're going to walk today. You're going to walk a couple miles. You're going to call an old friend. You're going to actually go and consult a doctor and get on a diet. Start today. Don't worry about what you did in the past. It's not about the past anymore. It's about what you can do today and in the future.
Okay.
Okay, but you have to motivate yourself. Get some personal counseling also. I think that would be helpful.
Okay.
All right, Barb. Good luck to you. Take
Good
care.
luck, Barb.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Take care, Barb.
You guys rule.
Thanks. We rule. Everybody else, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get back to more Therapy Thursday with Dr. Stan. The numbers are 1-800-STAR-987. But when we come back, we're going to get to gossip with Sam Rubin. And you know what? Maybe you could help Sam Rubin.
I like the psychological aspects of gossip.
We think Sam has issues.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We know he's short.
Will he be open to
anger?
Will he be
pent-up
open
anger.
to discussing them?
I hope so. And he also is like jealous of Mark Kriske, the weatherman. There's a lot of issues with Sam.
That's a very bad disease, jealousy of weathermen. It's very serious.
Deal with that when we come back.
Hey, shrinks are expensive. Entertainment Report on the Jamie, Jack, and Stench Show.
Good morning, Sam Rubin.
Hello there. Good morning, fellas. How are you?
We're good, and we have a therapist here for you today because we think that you have issues.
You know what? I've got the $175 and I have the 50 minutes. It's available.
It's not enough money and not enough time, I understand, Sam.
And Stan, you could be correct. You know what? This may say a lot about me, but this story is my favorite story of the entire week. I love this story.
Which one?
There are these cable channels that cater to special interests. There's Black Entertainment Television, a variety of different things. There's a gay channel called the Logo Channel.
Yeah, I get that on my cable.
Jack watches it.
Here you go. Get ready, Jack, then, for the new series, That Gay Ghost, a half-hour sitcom.
No way.
And this is the press release. Revolves around the lives of the conservative Carson family who moved to San Francisco and find that their lives are changed forever when they discover Cosmo, a gay ghost, living in the closet of their new home.
That kind of rule.
Now, that's funny, and almost to me, it's like, wow, I wish that was on a regular network so I could see it.
That is the greatest show ever. Charles Nelson Riley's been cast as Cosmo. Anyway, I just think that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Man.
That is funny.
A little career mistake, I think, for Idol winner Taylor Hicks. People magazine named him as the hottest bachelor.
What the hell with that,
I thought
Sam?
that was odd.
That was the biggest list of crap I've ever seen in my life.
That is always who has the hottest publicist. Really.
Oh, is that
Okay,
what it is?
let me tell you, the hottest bachelors in the world. Kenny Chesney, which is, suspect in my book.
And he's kind of a midget, isn't he?
Ace Young, the cute guy from American Idol that was getting all the gay vote.
Right.
Seacrest from Idol. And Taylor Hicks, the old gray-haired dude.
No, one thing, and maybe I'm not saying, but I bet it's true. Idol tickets come at this incredible premium. So it's like, here, I'm washing your hand, People magazine. Here's a row of tickets.
Oh.
Maybe you can help us.
There's something up because that was the biggest. Matthew McConaughey was on the list and probably the only guy that's like, oh, of course, Matthew McConaughey. Everyone else was kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, all those lists are very subjective. They're not
aren't
objective
they?
lists. So what happens is, the hottest people in the world, some editor's sitting there choosing these people.
Yeah, there's no science behind this.
There's no
this
science
choosing.
behind this at all. Not at all.
All right, but Dr. Katz, perhaps you can explain. Why do people this is a question about everything, so identify? I mean, we were talking yesterday about the Brad and Angelina baby shirt, and now that's the best-selling baby shirt ever.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people is it that they want to be these people, or they see themselves as these people, or what?
Yeah, I think that we are so celebrity-oriented right now, Sam. It's amazing. And we look at our history, celebrities have so much power right now. They've never had more power in our history. And I think that's because people really see themselves as being able to identify with these people, and hopefully with all the reality shows, being able to be them someday. Gives them some hope that maybe they can have what they have. So they covet it, they want it, they feel close to them, and because of all the information, they feel even closer because they know every detail of their life.
Well, there you go.
I feel like Fat Pitt.
You
should be so lucky. Huh?
Sometimes, though, stars make mistakes. We're going to run this on Channel 5 this morning. Taylor Hicks has cut a commercial for Ford, and it just cheapens him. It's like he shouldn't.
I'm okay with him in Ford. He's from Alabama.
No,
it
but
fits.
you'll see. But this is
boy.
it's like him singing on a stage that looks like Idol, and then it's like 0% financing. It's just really, it is not good.
Well, those horrible commercials they do during American Idol.
Those are so, but you see, those don't bother me because you can tell they're forced into it.
Right, but it's so blatant, like in your face, here's a Ford commercial
Right.
in the middle of this show that, I mean, they don't even try and disguise it anymore.
Yeah, exactly right. But those, I think, you know what? Okay, these poor kids, they're being forced to do that.
It's like slavery.
You know what, Sam? I think it's going to not have any negative effect on him at all. I think he's got his fans, he's got his Soul Patrol. I think they'll love it. I think it won't have a negative effect. I don't think people are looking for him to be an icon in terms of anything else besides music. He can advertise Fords or whatever he wants to do. Most people are very forgiving. You know this, Sam. They forgive everything these celebrities do.
You know, it was all going so well for Dr. Katz until he used the phrase Soul Patrol.
Yeah. You know what? I want to see McFever do like a Hooters commercial.
Oh, God.
No, that would rule.
Not going to happen,
But you know what? I agree actually with Stan completely in the notion that I think, that particularly with Taylor, there is sort of this Teflon quality. I think everybody really likes him.
Yeah.
And he can sort of do no wrong, although I think that is a mistake. You know how that is? You can get in trouble with different emails. Keith Olbermann, you know, and I'm sure this happens to you guys. You get emails from fans who love the show. You get email from fans. It's like, oh, that bit yesterday, I didn't like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you ever write back the ones who complain?
Yeah, I write to everybody.
Okay. And what do you ever go? Are you combative in those?
No, I'm always nice.
Oh,
Just
I'll
thanks for your
square up on
opinion.
an email.
All right.
Sam Rubin, I will get on an email and I will go into a spat with a person.
Yeah, Stench is a
I'll
little more
fight with whole
confrontational.
families. Families will get on with me and they'll be like, "You just made my wife cry, you SOB," and I'm like, "F you too."
Well, maybe then you need to work with Keith Olbermann.
Okay.
Apparently, Keith is in trouble for writing back to fans, some of which have published his responses, including this. Given how far you are from knowing your can I say ASS?
Yes.
Yeah.
Given how far you are from knowing your ass from your elbow about my industry, you couldn't be stupider, wronger, or dumber.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, it's always a mistake to get into that situation where you reply to fans. You know, in the Starting Over, we have a startingovertv.com
Yeah.
website, and people will write in all kinds of things about myself and the other people on the show. And I found myself at some point wanted to correct some information. You know, like they'll say, Dr. Stan is a nice guy, but he looks gay. And I want to say, not really. I got 5 kids. I'm married. You know, those kinds of things. But I find that when you start that process, what happens is you become individually involved in the battle. And it never stops, and so you don't know when to stop, and you have to just stop from the beginning. You don't answer that kind of stuff. You really don't, for your own psychological health.
Dr. Stan,
except you, Jack.
You have 5 kids?
I have 5 kids.
Wow. You don't look nearly tired enough to have 5 kids.
Thank you very much. Well,
You love going to work every day, huh?
I do. Stan, how close are they in age?
No, they're some of them are adults and some of them are teenagers.
So it's spread out.
Oh, that's all pain in
But
the ass
I think,
though.
Sam, you know, when you start doing that, like you said with Keith, when you start replying,
Right.
it's a really slippery slope.
Yeah, it doesn't go well when I get into the heated battles.
You get emotionally involved, yeah.
Sam, do you remember Joe Rogan on MySpace getting in the fight with that kid? That was
a
the best. Where he
fight
told
fight.
him he was rich and he gets chicks, and it was like,
Yeah, I don't usually. I will try to keep it from being personal. I'll do what Dr. Stan said, like try to correct their information, and then they'll take a jab at me, and then
No, I'm
it
not a
gets personal.
lunkhead idiot.
Yeah,
You know.
I'll correct your information. It's Jack that is the idiot.
right.
Jack is the gay guy on this show.
And when you realize when you're in the public eye, you're never going to be able to correct information. Never.
No.
None of you are going to
I
be
know.
able ever be able to do it.
You sort of quote unquote can't win.
You cannot win. No, it's the price you pay for fame. Or a little bit of fame.
So don't write me those bad emails about Sam Rubin anymore. I will not respond.
Thank you. You just forward them to me directly. You know what? I thought this was going to generate a lot of email and attention. It was kind of a big bust. Ann Coulter, who's an extremely combative conservative pundit, on with Jay Leno last night with George Carlin.
And it sucked.
What I wonder is that I have like 25 theories. Is that George Carlin because everybody expected? It's like, just because you expect me to do this, I'm not going to do it. Or the producer's like, you know what? Just don't do it. Let her do her bit. Or whatever. I thought it was
Or do you think that girl, as brutal as she is and as crazy as she is, she's really good? I mean, I would not want to get into a war of words with her because she'd kill me.
I thought you were going to say that girl, as brutal as she is brutally hot.
No, God, no, I think she looks like a transvestite. I was looking at her going, wow, she have an Adam's apple? Because that looks like a tall, lanky dude. I swear, Sam, that was my personal opinion.
That's funny.
I'm not saying it's
Carlin
true.
didn't take her on at all.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Did Leno take her on, though?
A little.
Really.
A little.
I'm sure he's very gentle.
He kind of said you're very, it's very mean-spirited. I think your
Sometimes
message
people think
was
you're a
hidden.
little mean. What about that?
Yeah.
Probably fed right into her at this point because that's really how she identifies herself. That's where her fame is. She's really cutting. She's cunning. She's sardonic. She's really she can be cruel, but that's her reputation right now.
But she knows her crap too, and she comes back when they go at her. She comes back with something every time. They never stump her.
She's very smart. I'll tell you who would have been a good foil for her is Al Franken.
Yeah.
Al Franken would have been great.
Oh, that literally would have gone to the mat.
Yes, exactly. They've actually paired them up at some conventions, things like that.
I've seen her a couple times on the Bill Maher show.
Yeah.
Which gets
He's good too.
Yeah,
He's good,
it gets they're really good together.
I don't know how any of you were up that late. I was sleeping so I could be up at 3:00 in the morning to be here.
Well, that's because you have 5 kids.
Yeah.
Trust me.
He was tired.
I'm not used to getting up this early.
Sam Rubin, what is coming up at 9:30?
Coming up at 9:30, a big story in local media about TV stations and newspapers and people fighting. Plus, we'll find out the casting for that gay ghost. I'm still stuck on that one. And I'm looking at over my list here. Oh, Jessica Alba playing the hottest girl in the world. Well, that's no surprise.
So she's just walking down the street.
Yeah, really, I know.
She is hot.
It's a home video.
Everybody else, we are back to Therapy Thursday with your calls next. 1-800-STAR-987. See you at 9:30, Sam.
All right.
Bye, Sam.
Bye.
See you, Doctor.
Hey, shrinks are expensive. Jack and Stench Show.
Star 98.7.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Therapy Thursday kicking off really early today. Our friend Dr. Stan from Starting Over weekdays at noon on NBC is in the house as our therapist today. Welcome, Dr. Stan.
Oh, thank you.
Are you ready to get right back into
I'm
this?
still sleeping, but I'm not.
The phones are still jammed.
The lights come out. I see the sun, so
The
maybe I can
sun's
work now.
out. Where a coffee's brewing in the other room, you'll be
Yeah.
fine in about an hour.
Good.
So, but let's hope the advice is good this hour too. Because we've got Erin on the phone right now. She's got a child with poop accidents going on.
Oh,
and she
too
needs
early
your
in the morning for
advice.
poop, isn't it?
No, it's never too early for poop.
Okay.
Erin, hello.
Hi, how are
Hi.
you guys doing?
Good morning, Erin.
Good morning. I have an 8-year-old, and he's gifted. And about 2-3 times a week, he has poop accidents.
Yeah. Does he have any kind of physical, medical problem?
No, that's just it. I've taken him to the doctor. There's no pattern. I've taken him to a counselor. Even the counselor was kind of puzzled and scratched his head and told me he'd never seen anything like this
I have a question.
before.
Now, you said gifted. Is gifted as in gifted, especially talented, or is this kid disabled?
No, gifted as in he's
intellectually gifted.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
That really has no bearing on it. There is something called encopresis. Encopresis is a disease where children have leakage or where they have they can't control their bowel movements, and that sometimes it doesn't manifest itself the way you would think. Sometimes kids have it, and you have to see a gastroenterologist. But often what happens is it's control. Sometimes kids feel they can't control their bowel movements. Sometimes they're kind of control their lives. I would take them to a counselor over time. I wouldn't just take them once or twice because this is a problem that unfortunately may take more time to remediate than just 1 or 2 sessions.
Right.
But sometimes children have these accidents because a lot of children have accidents because they just don't want to leave their activity. They're doing something. They don't want to go to the bathroom. They hold it and hold it.
Yeah, you might be trying to get high score in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, they hold. Now, younger children do this a lot.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah, and I hope you're not holding it. Okay.
I'm 38.
Yeah, then leaking. But I think this show is not the right venue to discuss this because I could get very graphic because whoever does the intake on this has to really know what's happening, and I don't really want to do that. I think this is still a entertainment show. So I don't think we're going to go into because I'd ask you a whole series of questions about, the quality and quantity and things like that. Oh. But the reality is that you do have to make a differential diagnosis. You have to decide if this is something that he can't control physically, that somehow he's having constipation, leakage, things like that, or if he's doing it in some way to control you or to punish you, some emotional issue.
Some kind of different gift for you.
Yeah, different gift. So I think the best thing to do is you need a child clinical psychologist or a child psychiatrist, not a counselor. This is a psychomedical problem. This sometimes has a psychobiological etiology. I hate to use these big words. It's early in the morning, but the truth is...
we don't understand them.
Thank you, yes. But you do, Aaron.
All I know is somebody's pooping in their pants.
Yeah.
Ask your pediatrician and then ask for a child clinical psychologist or a child psychiatrist to do an evaluation and not a counselor and someone who can see him over time, and I think you can get to the bottom of it.
And how do you deal with the kid? I know it's got to be as embarrassing for him. If he's 8 years old, it's got to, it's hard on him. I'm sure he's not, really doing it on purpose.
Well, let me ask you, is there shame and embarrassment attached to this?
There is, but you know what? For some reason, he still seems to just be his normal, really happy self.
Well, that's good.
And he wants, he knows he smells.
Does he have accidents in school?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where the accidents happen. He
Okay.
doesn't seem to have them at home too much.
Does he have school anxiety?
No, you know what? We walk down the street and everybody knows him. He is
Well,
the
not
friendliest.
for, hopefully because of
Stinky
that.
kid.
Yeah, exactly.
We all knew the stinky kid.
Well, yeah, but no, he's just like the friendliest, most outgoing kid.
So he doesn't have any school phobia, doesn't have school anxiety.
Oh, he may have like public pooper problems because I know I'm not going in a public restroom. If I got to
Especially
go,
at school.
I'm going home.
Well, see, it's happened here though. It has happened at home before too. So
Yeah, I mean, do you have a new baby in the house? Have you had?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, you'd know it, I guess.
Are
Sometimes
you
what
sure?
happens is children will start to act out when they have a new sibling, and they'll see
Yeah.
the child getting attention for that, and they'll actually want to regress and wear diapers. I think the best thing, though, is to consult a professional, but a lot of counselors know nothing about this. So you really have to consult a medical professional, and I would talk to your pediatrician for a referral for a pediatric clinical psychologist.
Okay, great.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Good luck, Aaron. Take care.
All right, Aaron, thanks for the call.
We've actually been having the opposite problem, and I was just on WebMD last night looking this up. My kid is doing where she's so into playing and doesn't want to be out of the loop that she won't go and holds it into the point where she gets backed up.
But how old is she?
She's 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah, different than 8.
Yeah,
And I
totally
looked it up
different.
on WebMD, and it's a normal thing.
Totally
Yeah.
normal. Don't want to go. Too busy.
Right.
Decide they can live with it. They can either hold it or they can do it in their pants.
Right.
This is very typical of that age. I wouldn't even worry about that for another year at least.
Okay.
Oh, but you're about to run into the new baby,
baby.
and
Well,
almost a
that's
3-year-old.
right. This is the baby to stop you from going to Ohio, right?
Right, exactly. The
I remember
California
that, Jack.
baby.
The therapeutic alternative. Yeah. The
I
therapeutic
love
option.
it when Dr. Stan spent almost a whole day one Thursday giving like Jack advice. I mean, it was a great show. We really got some nitty gritty. And then next time Dr. Stan's back, Jack is pregnant. And he says, "At what point did I tell you to go have another baby?"
Well, he took some of my advice, just not all of it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will have Luke Perry. You know
good.
Dylan from 90210.
Great.
Oh, yeah. New show. It's Windfall on NBC. We'll talk to him all about that when we come back.
Star 98.7.
Jack and Stench Show.
Star 98.7.
All right, welcome back to the Jamie, Jack, and Stench Show. It is Therapy Thursday. We kicked it off at 6 o'clock this morning.
Yeah,
Dr.
but wait,
Stan?
where's my music?
Oh, that's right. Dr. Stan wants his intro
Yeah, the
music.
funeral dirge.
Remember the
Oh,
Therapy Thursday?
I have that.
Yeah. I'm not coming back on with that music.
Therapy Thursday.
Yeah.
Da-da-da. With
We are
Jamie,
a-
Jack, and
Start your
Stench.
antidepressants.
Multi-million-dollar radio station. That's the best we could do right there.
Yeah, I don't think I can handle that.
1-800-STAR-987 if you have any issues whatsoever. Dr. Stan will take them all. You could watch him weekdays at noon on NBC. It's Starting Over. He's in the Starting Over house with crazy people.
All those women.
Yeah, you're in a house filled with women.
Filled
and
with women.
People with issues.
All issues and women.
How do you guys do that, by the way, real quick, before we jump back to the phones?
I have to tell you something. Of all the work I've ever done in my life, this has been the most gratifying. These women actually come in. They spend 6 to 8 weeks with us. They actually change their lives.
How long do you physically stay there when you're doing this?
Well, I only there a couple times a week. I'm there 2 or 3 times a week, and then they're there 24 hours a day, and they work with our life coaches, Rhonda Britton and Jan Levenzant. And they work with the life coaches on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And the women have problems that range from this season. We had a woman who was a young girl, was a stripper and an escort, wanted to change her life. Women with cancer, women with divorce issues, relationship issues, addictions, weight issues, and they really do change their lives.
6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks, sometimes even longer.
I wonder what the bill would be really on that if you
You know,
had
I
that
have to
kind
tell you
of
something.
live-in therapy.
It's sort of like this is priceless. They
Yeah.
would no one can. There's no psych hospital, no residential treatment center where people get the kind of care and attention that they do at Starting Over.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's an amazing place. I wish we could have it for everybody out there who needs it. But we
No,
can't,
it's
unfortunately.
frightening to me. I wouldn't want all those people around me. I'd know how screwed up I really am.
Yeah, and to be filmed 24/7 also.
Yeah.
But that's motivating.
Go to the website if you want to.
StartingOverTV.com.
Always casting through the website, right?
Right.
Yeah. StartingOverTV.com. You can watch the show. It is at noon weekdays on NBC. It's Starting Over, and we've had. By the way, we've had your counterparts in
Rhonda
the life
Britton,
coaches.
yeah.
We've had Rhonda in,
Yeah.
and they're all really really good on that show. So let's jump to the phones really quick. Talk to Bill. Bill's got a question about grieving. Bill, welcome to the show. You're on with Dr. Stan.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Yeah, I had a kind of a tragic accident happen to my wife 3 years ago. My son accidentally ran over her and killed her. And that time, that was in another state. I came back here at home, Bakersfield, and trying to, regather my life. And a lady I've known for like over 30 years that I admire and respect very much helped me out quite a bit, but at the same time, she doesn't really want to have a relationship. She's had them before. We're older. We're over 50. She wants to be able to do her own thing, without answering anybody type of thing. I guess she figures,
She wants a casual relationship.
Yeah. And, of course, I'm very lonely. I'm very...
Bill, you've got the wrong woman there. You're a 50-year-old guy. There are a lot of women out there who want to meet a man and really spend their life with. You picked a woman who wants a casual relationship.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's quite a lady. I mean, she takes care of her grandkids, her father, and everybody else too. I mean, she's very special.
And she doesn't want a man she has to take care of on top of that.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and if you've got those issues of dealing with the grief and all that crap going on, she maybe see you as just another project outside of you're probably a great guy, and she enjoys being around you.
Well, I would hope so. I hope so.
Well, but Bill, what you're bringing up is a problem that's sort of universal, and that is you're on a different page than she is. At this point in your life, you want something different than what she wants, and she's a great gal, and so maybe she should be a friend of yours, but not your life partner.
She's always been my friend. Yeah, absolutely.
But it sounds like you want something different, Bill. You want a more intimate, closer relationship.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So why are you stuck with her? She's a great woman, but she may not be in the right place at the same time that you're in the same place that she isn't. What did I just say?
That was really she's in a different spot than you are right now.
Well, that's exactly what I said. Right. I told you I don't work till 10 o'clock in the morning. No,
He's getting there.
But Bill, truly, I mean, you guys are. Timing's really important here. You're different places, and you want a more intimate relationship. You're still grieving the loss of your wife. She doesn't want. She wants to be independent. So you really have to reevaluate whether or not she's the woman you want to pursue.
Well, she preferred me not to probably to pursue her, but at the same time. I loved her a long time, so...
yeah, but that doesn't...
And I enjoyed being
love's
around
not enough.
her, talking to her.
Yeah, but Bill, love is not enough in this situation.
Do you think he has an attachment to her? If obviously losing his wife was a major thing to go through in your life, and if that's who he leaned on and that's who got him through that, is that why he's hanging on?
Clearly, Bill, you have attachments for her for lots of reasons.
No, actually, for 3 decades, I mean, I've always had an attachment to her. I mean, she's very special. I'm blessed to have known some very nice ladies.
Yeah,
but me too, Bill. Me too.
But Bill, you know what? The real issue for you, Bill, today is this going to be enough for you? If she's a special, wonderful lady, you've known her a long time, if it's going to be enough for you, great. But you don't have to sell yourself short. You're a 50-year-old guy. There's lots of women out there who would like to be with you and have a more intimate, connected life than this woman. That's the decision you have to make. Is it worth the sacrifice to have her in your life?
Go out there and get blessed by some other lovely young ladies.
some 30-year-old honeys. Come on, Bill.
So you've got some serious thinking to do, because I know you're attached to her. It sounds like you almost are grieving the loss of her, secondary to grieving the loss of your wife. And
That's true.
And you don't want to go through that again. But I think you really need to reevaluate what you want in your life. And it sounds like you really want an intimate, close, connected relationship, and she does not want that right now.
That's true.
Okay, so I would go out there and reevaluate that. And I think there's lots of women out there, they'll probably start calling, who will be interested in having a man who wants what you actually really want.
It's pretty rare to find a guy that really wants to go and have a relationship. Most guys, we want to hit it and quit it, to be really honestly and brutal. You want the booty call and you want to go. This guy wants to be with her.
But we're only hearing half the story. Maybe he's a lot of work. Maybe she doesn't, because of all this drama he's had. Maybe that's why she doesn't want to get too involved.
But okay, Dr. Stan, what about the people, and I dated a girl like this once upon a time who had been hurt, and then they don't want another relationship just because they don't want to get hurt again.
Yeah, well,
so,
you need to stay away from those people.
Yeah,
I'll tell you why.
and
Because
believe
you're
me,
not,
it didn't work.
You're not going to get your needs met. Bill is a man who wants a relationship. He lost his wife. He wants a relationship.
Yep.
He admires this woman. He thinks she's a terrific woman. The problem is she doesn't want the same thing. And so much of making a relationship work depends on lifestyle similarities. You have to have a consistency between how you want to live your lives. You cannot be, one person cannot be, a really independent person, the other person very dependent. Those relationships don't work well.
And why do we go into, we always do this of the fixer-upper. Well, I like them, and I can fix this.
Well, it's not even that. It's that I
never
can
works
mold them
either.
into something I want to mold them into. I like
Yeah.
their exterior. I like how they look.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great-looking house. I'm going to now remodel it. And that's what everybody wants to do. They want to do remodeling. And of course, what people want more than anything else is to be accepted for who they are. And that's why so many relationships fail, because people cannot accept the person for who they are.
That's a good one. I've been remodeled myself a little
There
bit.
you go.
How about you, Jack?
Well, as long as you do your own remodeling, it's fine. But no one else should remodel you.
No, I think Jack and I are being remodeled if we like it or not.
Well, that's true. Jack's having a baby that wasn't exactly planned, and that's a remodeling.
Oh, man. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take another break, and coming up next, we will talk to someone that's got a 14-year-old with attitude problems. You may have that if you've got teens at home.
How surprising.
And then, of course, Luke Perry coming up at 7:30 this morning, 9 o'clock hour. We'll talk to Cheech Marin. In the meantime, it is Therapy Thursday with Dr. Stan when we come back.
Jamie, Jack, and Stench Show.
Star 98.7.
Welcome to the Jamie, Jack, and Stench Show. Today, filling in for Jamie White is our favorite therapist, Dr. Stan, from Starting Over, weekdays at noon on NBC. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm thrilled to be here.
It is cool to have we're doing therapy all morning today. So Dr. Stan started at 6 o'clock. Yeah. We're going into overtime with him right now, and we have got Shane on the phone. Now, Shane's got a 14-year-old having some attitude problems. Tell us about it.
Well, it's kind of more than attitude problems. He's had a little bit of substance abuse issues in the past, and he's only 14, so that's not good in itself.
Whoa.
But it's more like he's extremely smart, and he's very charming, and he's a great brother, and he's a great son. He's just really choosing not to do well in school, choosing to make almost like a self-sabotage, or just when things are going well, messes up, and it's just crazy. It's like a day-to-day craziness.
Yeah, so let me ask you a question. How much control do you have over him?
Probably too much.
Well, too much or not enough?
No, I mean, if he's going somewhere, I'm talking to the parents on the phone. He's got to check in. He's only allowed to be certain places at certain times, and, I go out of my way to take him there, to pick him up.
How'd you get to substance abuse problems before 14 if you're that over the top of them?
Well, I'm in the process of getting a divorce, and his dad had substance abuse issues, so if I had to do the math, I would say if it was in the home.
Well, but wait a second. You're saying that he was involved with drugs and alcohol, or what was he involved with?
Yeah, it was mostly drugs.
Pot?
Yes.
Okay.
That, and he says other things, which is hard for me to believe, but, I'm not going to call him liar.
How often do you test him for drugs?
Weekly.
Weekly, okay. Does he know which day you're testing him?
I have surprise tests, but he definitely has to go every single Wednesday because he is on probation.
He's on probation, okay.
Yeah, he has to go and get tested every single Wednesday, so.
Well, let me just say this, Shane. First of all, he's way too young to be this rebellious.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing is a kid who, unfortunately, if you don't set really strong limits and boundaries, may take a path which will be irreversible. So I think, Shane, don't feel like you're doing too much. I'll tell you why. Because in a lot of these cases, we would say this child needs residential treatment.
Yeah. Oh, he's been in residential treatment.
Right.
I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that. He was in a behavioral modification/rehab for 10 and a half months. It's a year-long program, and he was ultimately kicked out.
When did this start? When did these problems start? Like what age?
He was about, if I really had to go back, I'd say about 5th grade.
About 11 years old.
Yeah.
All right. So he started really early, and therefore you have to treat him with a little bit different gloves than you would treat a normal, what's he, 14 now? 13,
yeah,
14?
14.
He's 14. So I think one of the things, is he in treatment now? You say he was kicked out of a residential
right.
center. Is he in treatment?
No, he does go to his probation officer. He does speak with his therapist still that he was getting treatment with the whole time that he was there. He speaks to her still.
Does he work a 12-step program?
No, he does not.
Okay, so he's not really doing anything right now.
Right.
Other than what he has to.
Yeah, other than what he has to. So he really needs to be in maybe an outpatient program.
Okay.
Clearly, a kid this age who got in so much trouble before he's even adolescent
Yeah.
is going to need a lot of strong boundaries here. And that's why sometimes residential care for these kids goes on 2-3 years because it's really tough to make the change you have to make. I would say the most important thing you could do for him is to find an outpatient adolescent program for him.
Okay.
One where he goes, there's nothing happening. The testing is not going to do it.
Right.
First of all, you can get around the testing to some degree, and it should always be random and surprise and not on a weekly basis.
And does he really care? I mean,
I really don't think he does because it's since being on probation and having to have these weekly tests. I mean, it was like clockwork. I knew when he didn't show up one day after school, and I went searching for him, and there he was. And I said, you have an option. You can tell me right now if you're using, or I'm taking you straight to get a drug test. And he goes, no, I did.
Okay, so he has a lot of power right now because what are the consequences? What happens if he uses? What do you do?
Well, he gets, things taken away and gets grounded, and I don't know what else to do.
Where's his father? You said you're breaking up, so is his father involved at all?
He's getting involved.
Okay.
He's getting back involved, and he no longer has those issues, which is good. It's just they've got a relationship that needs to be mended.
Okay, well, it sounds like you need family therapy, but he really needs, let me tell you something. The most important thing you can do with an adolescent when they begin to act out is to quickly nip it in the bud. If you do not, it can turn into a major problem. There's no reason why a 10-year-old should ever develop a drug problem. Parents have to be on top of their kids. Once you think, I hear parents come to me all the time and say, I'd rather them smoke weed in my house than somewhere else. You cannot condone this at all. You can't condone it at all. You have to say there are consequences. And as soon I've said to so many parents, this child needs residential care because you cannot give him the boundaries that he really needs right now. You feel too guilty. And Shane, you're even feeling guilty. You started this phone call by saying, maybe I'm too tough on him. You're not being too tough on him.
Okay.
He's at a serious crossroad right now, and if he doesn't go the right path, he can end up being a career problem for himself.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
That is absolutely what I'm afraid of.
He was in a residential treatment center. Call them up and ask them what outpatient program they recommend at this point. A 12-step program. He should be going to meetings. He should be having a sponsor. He should have responsibilities.
You're right.
And it should be kind of a tough love situation here because you're not going to promote this. You're not going to collude with him.
Right.
And why are you so out of breath?
Because I as well have 5 kids, and I'm getting them all ready for
I'm like, were
morning.
you jogging? It was driving me crazy.
Chasing kids around.
So he may need some attention. Also, he may feel like he's not getting enough attention, and he may be acting out to get attention.
See, it's that attention thing. It's just so difficult to wrap my brain around that because, I'm a total, and I have been since the get-go, and I was raised like this with a really tight family. We do everything together. Our birthdays are celebrated together, everything. We go to movies on weekends. We play games. We do all kinds of stuff. So he gets positive attention as well as negative attention.
Why does that happen? Okay, I know this too. Like, we'll have, and probably every family has one. You'll have a family, and I know I've got them in my family, where 2 or 3 kids, absolutely great kids. One turns into this raging drug addict, idiot, loser, and
it's a really good question.
I have a brother that's a piece of crap.
Genes, same environment, but let me tell you what's different. It's called temperament and constitution. A long time ago, we discovered that we can have siblings who grew up in the same environment, who have the same parents, who have the same genetic makeup, but they're so different. That's because there is this biology that determines our constitution, our temperament, which has nothing to do with anything else, and you can't account for it by anything else. So what it means is that's why you and your brother are so different.
Yeah.
It's your temperament and your constitution, and we don't know exactly why. And so what happens is one formula doesn't work for each child. In other words, one child like certain things, the other child doesn't. You have to be able to be sensitive and responsive to each child's needs and to be able to help them emphasize their strengths and de-emphasize their weaknesses.
So it's not a mold. We don't just
it's not a
them out
mold,
of the mold.
And you can't keep saying, gee, why aren't they the same? They aren't the same.
Much
because
more
they
like
aren't
your
the same.
brother.
Exactly. They're different. Just remember that.
All right. Now, here's the interesting. The phones are off the hook. We will get back to these phones. It is Therapy Thursday. Dr. Stan is in here from Starting Over weekdays at noon on NBC. He's wake. He's kicking.
I'm waking up now.
And now Luke Perry is on the phone, and we're going to talk to him next about the show Windfall, which is also on NBC.
Jamie, Jack, and Stench.
Star 98.7.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the show. It is the Jamie, Jack, and Stench show. We're in the middle of Therapy Thursday with our guest host today, Dr. Stan. But right now, we are going to stop and take a break from therapy, and we're going to talk to a superstar on the phone. It's our privatephone.com hotline. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Luke Perry to the show. What's happening, Luke?
Good morning.
How are you?
Good
I'm good. How are you guys today?
We're doing good. Tell us about the new show, Windfall. It's tonight at 10 on NBC. A whole bunch of people win money and go crazy. What's going on?
NBC, nothing but cash. Here's the deal.
All right.
Me and 12 friends go in on a lottery ticket, win $386 million, and then it starts to get nasty. Then it starts to get hairy. Lots of good things happen, and a few bad things happen.
It seems like every time you hear of a lottery winner, there's usually just always bad stories. I mean, in real life.
You got to wonder about that, right? I mean, how can you mess that up? You win all you win all this money. If you just put it away, hang on to some of it, do a few crazy things, you'd be all right. But it doesn't seem to be human nature.
It doesn't. It absolutely. People get this money, and it seems like their life is ruined by the lottery.
And it doesn't matter who you are. You know, I mean, like the characters on our show, we got teenagers win this money, older people win this money, and it's complicated for everybody. And I think it's something that we all want to win. Everybody wants to, but you don't think about what might happen if it happened to you.
I can handle it. I know I can handle it.
That's what everybody
That's what we're all saying.
Stench, you think you can handle it, but let me tell you something, and I think Luke's right, and that is that it brings bad things because you're unprepared. It's almost like having a instant wife.
Well, it's like those athletes. They'll technically hit the lottery. You'll see like some 18-year-old kid. Next thing you know, he's making millions of dollars, and they usually do really dumb stuff.
But you know what? The athletes at least earn it in some way. These people feel guilty. They don't even earn it.
You know what? We live in a society that is obsessed with wealth and getting it. And like you said, people aren't that concerned about whether they earn it or not. They just want to have it.
So, Luke,
and the lottery is a great way for that to happen.
Luke, let me ask you a question. What if you all of a sudden won $400 million?
$400 million.
Yeah, what would you do? What would you do with it?
I would sit down and think about it. I mean, to be really honest.
Now, the question: would you continue to act? Would you continue to act?
Yes, I would.
Okay, and I think that part of the problem is that people think that the lottery is going to solve their problems. They're not going to have to work again, and they're going to miss a big part of their life because work is a really important part of life.
Well, but you know what? It's only a part of your life, and that brings up the real good issue. See, now to me, money is time. And if you don't have to spend your time doing things to make money, you can do the things that you want to do or feel that you need to do.
Like strippers and crazy stuff. That's what people do with the money. They get the money, they go crazy.
Wow, but you know what? I mean, look, who's the richest man in the world?
What, like Gates or
Bill Gates, right?
Some other dude, yeah.
Bill Gates, right? And so what does he do with it? He all that's not, he built the company he wants to have, has all the planes, all the stuff. Man goes to Africa.
He gives it away.
Starts writing his checks and he gives it away.
Right. Yeah, there's something wrong with him.
Well, Luke, let me ask a question. You achieved incredible fame very rapidly on 90210. You went from probably being a struggling actor, I would guess, to being one of the most famous actors in the country, right?
I had a job for a minute.
Okay. And
that was a 10-year run.
Well, I know. What was that like? All of a sudden, you became very successful overnight. How'd you handle it?
Well, when you think about it, the things that make you successful, they're fairly intangible. It's a kind of a thing that people project onto you. You go to work, you do your job as good as you can do it, and the chips will fall where they may, and you hope things work out well. I have no idea how this stuff's going to go. I just try to do the scenes as good as I can do them, and then one day you're walking down the street, people are screaming.
You know what? I heard a story about you that throughout the entire run of 90210 that you drove like the same pickup truck. Is that true?
No, halfway through, I got a new pickup truck.
See? So that's a pretty level-headed guy right there.
Probably didn't change his life. Not like these guys on
Windfall,
Windfall,
I'm concerned. I don't understand why anybody doesn't drive a pickup truck. I really don't.
That's what I drive.
I don't understand why there are other vehicles other than pickup trucks.
You never saw like, hey, I'm going to get a Porsche and be the flashy guy?
No. You know what? I would rather buy heavy equipment. I'd buy a bulldozer before I'd buy a Porsche.
That's cool. Go dig ditches out in the yard.
I would. Hey, those things are incredible, man. I'd get a Cat D9 high track with a 6-way blade. I'd be digging stuff up, and a track hoe. Those are what I would get.
That's you know what? That's so funny. How about that guy in the news? Have you seen that guy that's mining for gold in his yard? You could totally help him. The guy decided there was gold in his yard. He had a metal detector, and he dug a 60-foot hole, and now his house is going to fall in on him.
See, I'm laughing, but that gold's probably at 72 feet. It's got a little bit farther to go, and there's gold down there.
And you know what? If that guy won the lottery like you guys do on the show Windfall, he could totally get the equipment to excavate that property.
You know what? That guy dug a 72-foot deep hole. All we did was plop down a couple of bucks and pick some numbers. I would say he's more entitled to it.
That's funny. The show is Windfall. It is I imagine the drama is unlimited with what can happen once a lot of people win a lot of money in the lottery. Luke Perry is on the show. It's absolutely fantastic. It launched last week. Tonight, 10 p.m. on NBC. You can see the second installment. Good luck on the show.
That's right. I think they're showing 2 of them tonight, possibly 9 and 10 o'clock. Special 2-hour Windfall.
Are you going to re-show the first one, or is it going to be 2 new episodes?
Someone told me earlier, I think they're going to re-show the first one and then show the one right next to it.
Perfect. So if you didn't catch last week, you can definitely get caught up on exactly how they got the money and how their lives start to fall apart, I imagine, right now.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Luke. Well, thanks for calling. We appreciate it. Continued success on the show. Hope it goes well for you and that you get that backhoe you want.
Thanks, guys.
All right, man.
Take care, Luke.
All right,
take care. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Hey, shrinks are